let's talk a little bit about, you talk about it in your book a lot, and it's a concept that many people may not know of. Maybe they've heard of it, but this halal versus haram.
Yes.
So can you explain a little bit what they each mean?
Perfect. Haram is a sin, and halal basically means it's good. It's good for you. It's acceptable. Um, and halal and haram is two very important things in the Arab world. Halal is something very important in the Arab world and any Muslim majority country. Halal means it's acceptable, it's allowed. And you have to have me working with international export and trade and so on and so on. I know for a fact that most products that leave, for example, Brazil to the Arab world, they have to have a seal of halal, which means an acceptable seal, a seal that this food that you're consuming is acceptable for people to have. It's so I'll give an example. Pork. Pork is haram. It's not allowed. Okay. Chicken. Chicken is halal. As long as you do the slaughtering the correct way, that's halal. Um, uh, there are certain foods that you have a red dye. That's haram. That's not allowed because you get that red dye from insects and different things. And then, but depending on the cheese, that's halal. So halal and haram walk side by side. And halal is just the way that you prepare the food or what you have in the ingredients or how it's been prepared and so on and so on. Now, in my opinion, halal is more than just being good and bad. Halal is a way of life. It's like a trend. So I'm not Muslim myself. Nevertheless, I only buy halal products in the supermarket. Well, I don't only buy, but I tend to look at the label, for example, this water, and then no, not the water, but products, and I say, oh, it's halal. Oh, that's good. That's a good thing. I will have halal. So it's a way of life, like we look for organic and non-organic, so same thing. I usually look for the organic seal or the halal seal to at least know that what I'm giving myself or what I'm giving my children or giving my friends, it's something that is acceptable. Now, halal doesn't only go for food. Do apologize.
Okay,
Please.
really quick, so there is food that is not halal in the Middle East?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, okay,
So,
okay.
for example, there is a huge population of British expats here, right? And they all love their bangers and mash, which is their pork sausage and mashed potato, whatever. Uh, or the Italians that love their salami,
Prosciutto.
yeah, whatever, right?
Mm.
So you have specific places here in the supermarkets where it says not for Muslims, and
Okay.
inside you have pork products. So alcohol is haram. It's not you're not allowed to consume alcohol. You do silly things with alcohol. It messes up, but your decisions. So that's definitely not good. So that's haram, not halal. However, because the UAE, for example, and this is not for all Arab countries, okay? So, for example, Saudi Arabia, uh, alcohol is not allowed, right? In the UAE, it is, with places that you have some special license, and you're allowed to trade with alcohol, like a bar or whatever, in designated areas, especially in hotels and free zones and things like that. So these places, that's alcohol, that's haram, that's bad, but they still allow it. Okay, but yeah, so that's why we look for the seal of halal,
Got
which
it.
means it's okay. Now,
Okay.
I was going to say that halal is, but it's not only for food, right?
Okay.
So the halal is a huge market, and it involves so much things. It's $1 trillion market, because it involves halal in cosmetics. So you
Okay.
have cosmetics halal. You have halal in fashion. So halal in fashion is, for example, burkini or modest clothing, abayas. That's all halal market. That's fashion, halal in fashion. You have halal in cosmetics. You have halal in tourism. So, for example, a hotel that would have the seal of halal outside the Arab world is a hotel, for example, in Brazil that you would have the direction to Mecca and Medina. Where is that at? So that the Qibla, what they will pray to. You would have the sacred holy Al Quran inside the hotel room. You have a little carpet for them to, a rug, small rug for them to pray on top of. So, you know, so things, small details would give you the seal of halal in your business, whether it's tourism, where there is food, where there is cosmetics, where there is fashion. And the fifth pillar of halal is finance.
Okay.
So, Islamic finance is something huge that the world needs to understand much more about. Once you understand that business, you can do so much here in the Arab world. You know, it involves sukuk, involves loans, interest free. Islamic banks are interest free. So there's so much things that the world needs to learn, especially Brazil, about the opportunities here.
I watched a video that you did on YouTube, and you were talking about how in Dubai, if somebody, if you write somebody a check and it bounces, right?
Yep,
What
yeah.
happens?
Yeah, so that's actually Islamic finance, right? That's something. So in Dubai, Brazilians can't understand. It's like how you write checks to rent a house, and I say yeah. It's like, oh my God, that's so old fashioned. Oh, you write a check to pay for your contractor to build whatever, or you write two checks for your school annual fee. Yeah, we still use the check system here because check for them is like a contract.
Mm,
Okay. You're signing that you're giving your word that you will pay back.
okay.
And in the Arab world, in Islam, if you don't pay somebody for something that you bought, technically you're stealing from them, right?
Mhm.
So you bought a phone and you haven't, you give a check, the check bounces. You took a product and you're not paying. So, but for the other parts of the world or, Brazil, whatever, they tend to think that's not stealing. That's like, oh, the guy has not paid. Oh, let's go to court, whatever. But here, no. If you didn't pay, technically you're stealing. So if you're stealing, if the check bounces back once, you have to go and pay a fine, and for the bank, and for the person, if they want to for the work that they will have to go to the bank, take the check back,
Mm.
do this, if they want. Usually that doesn't happen, but if it happens again, twice, and this person went two times to the bank, put it there, the bank, all that process, and you have no money in that check that you wrote, you signed that you would pay, and if you're not paying, then it's jail time for you. Now it's been a little bit loosened. The law is a little bit easier. Of course, you can pay finance to get out of jail. I don't know how you call it, finance
A
or
fine?
no.
Like,
Yeah, pay bail.
yeah, bail. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. You can pay bail, and
Mm.
technically the bail is like the fee that of the money that you didn't pay. Anyway, it's a complicated scenario, but
Yeah.
now, yes, at least you go to the police station, But still, if you don't pay that person, you're gonna go to jail. I mean, they take this very seriously, and it's a good thing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
people should understand that, the system here works. There is
Yes.
no, oh, yeah, tomorrow, whatever. No, 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 no. There is inshallah for many things, but not, for things that is wrong. If it's wrong, it's wrong,
Yeah.
and that's it.